Lewis Hamilton was visibly upset during a radio communication, and this time the reason was not just the underwhelming performance of the Ferrari car. The issue ran deeper. It involved personal feelings, a political atmosphere, and was directly related to Charles Leclerc. During the Grand Prix held in Miami, an unexpected team radio message was broadcast and caught even the most attentive viewers off guard. The Italian team asked Hamilton to give up his position to his teammate, even though both were on very similar strategy. Hamilton's reaction was marked by a tense silence and a frustration that came through in every one of his words. This was not just another tactical decision. It was a breach of trust. For a driver with 7 world championships who joined Ferrari to win races, and not just to play a supporting role, the message came across as a blow. The relationship between Hamilton and Ferrari's race strategy team began to show signs of strain. With the full content of the radio exchange leaked, the public could follow that moment in detail, sensing the hesitation, the disbelief, and the growing perception that something was off behind the scenes at the Italian team. Hamilton was not merely disagreeing with an instruction. He was questioning the team's entire approach to the championship. What happened next on the track only intensified this scenario. He finished behind Leclerc, driving a car that never gave him a real chance to respond. Hamilton's silence after the race spoke louder than any statement. Ferrari may have thought it could handle the situation internally, but that hope vanished the moment the radio message became public. Before we dive into the details of this event and its potential consequences for Hamilton, Leclerc, and the already fragile relationship with Ferrari, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us until the end, because what happened in Miami might be more than a simple position swap. It could signal deeper changes in the season and possibly even be a turning point in Hamilton's future with the team. Lewis Hamilton was overwhelmed with anger. It was not just frustration or confusion, it was genuine fury. And that feeling was evident to the entire world, echoing through the backstage of Formula One. What the broadcast revealed was not just a poorly executed tactical decision, but a worrying fracture in how the Maranello-based team is managing its races and the relationship between its two drivers. The episode began when Ferrari instructed Hamilton to let Leclerc through in the final moments of the race, even though Lewis believed he had a faster pace, fresher tires, and had earned that position on track. Hamilton's response to the call was cold and direct. "Are you sure? After everything we've been through today?" That was not just a question. It sounded like a direct accusation toward the team's leadership. The Grand Prix in Miami was seen as a great opportunity for Ferrari to close the gap to McLaren and Mercedes. However, from the very first laps, it became clear that the current car model was once again struggling, especially with tire management and straight-line speed. Hamilton, who started the race from a less favorable position, managed to get ahead of Leclerc early on thanks to a better launch and more decisive moves through the initial corners. But the real turning point came after the pit stop window. Hamilton chose to stay out longer, squeezing as much performance as he could from his tires, while Leclerc pitted earlier. Once the cycle of stops ended, Hamilton was ahead, but with more worn tires. In the closing laps, as Leclerc closed in rapidly, Ferrari engineers decided to issue the team order. Hamilton did not take it well. That now infamous message, "After everything we've been through today," symbolized a major crack in the trust between driver and team. From Hamilton's perspective, he had executed his strategy well, preserved his car, and earned that position. But once again, Ferrari's decisions did not favor him. Even worse, there is a growing perception that Leclerc is being prioritized, whether intentionally or not. After the race, Hamilton was visibly tense. No smiles for the cameras, no friendly chats in the paddock, and during interviews he remained professional, though his words carried hidden meaning. He spoke of tough decisions and said, "We need to review everything, not just the race, but how we are making these calls." When directly asked about letting Leclerc pass, he did not openly criticize the team, but he also did not defend them. His silence said it all. Leclerc, in turn, showed some discomfort when discussing the matter. He admitted he was faster at that stage of the race, but added, "We'll talk about it internally," a clear sign that he too understands the situation is becoming sensitive. The worst part? The final result did not justify all the drama. Leclerc finished in 7th. Hamilton in 8th. Both were behind the cars from McLaren, Red Bull, and even George Russell's Mercedes. The team order did not make a difference in points, but it may have deeply affected the internal balance of the team. And this is not the first time Hamilton has felt let down by the team's decisions this season. From tire choices to setup changes and now position swaps, the mistakes are piling up. When those mistakes begin to erode trust, the environment becomes unstable. For Hamilton, who left Mercedes with the clear goal of chasing another title, this kind of internal conflict is the last thing he needs. And for Ferrari, who brought him in hoping to elevate the team's level, these signs are alarming. What happens in the next races could shape not just the results, but the course of the season and perhaps even the team's trajectory with Hamilton. At this point, it is no longer just about a single radio call or a questionable tactical move. We are talking about eroding trust, unclear priorities, and a partnership that, despite being in its early stages, already shows signs of instability. Inside the garage, everyone knows that this kind of tension does not dissolve with a handshake or a polite social media post. If Hamilton starts to believe that team orders will consistently work against him regardless of context, the psychological impact could be significant. It would not only affect his driving but also his motivation, his feedback to the team, and how much he invests in a long-term project that now seems uncertain at best. Leclerc is not in an easy position either. Benefiting from a controversial team decision can cause resentment down the road, especially if the roles are reversed and the team hesitates to return the favor. Drivers remember these moments, so do the fans. And in a sport where politics and competition are tightly intertwined, any perception of favoritism can poison a team from the inside out. From a sporting standpoint, Ferrari simply cannot afford this. It is already behind McLaren in development, is no longer a consistent threat to Red Bull, and now sees its biggest off-season signing questioning the decisions being made around him. If this situation is not resolved quickly and clearly, the team risks more than just losing races. It could lose its leadership, its potential, and the benefits it hoped to gain by betting on Hamilton. But solving this issue is not just about upgrades or fast lap times. It is about unity, transparency, and building an environment where both Hamilton and Leclerc feel empowered to fight, but also supported when compromise is needed. Because if the team loses either one to politics or frustration, the cost will be far greater than a lost position on Sunday. So now we watch, wait, and listen, especially to the radios, because it is often in those messages that the real story of Formula One is revealed. And if what we witnessed in Miami is any indication, Ferrari's season might not be defined by speed, but by how it handles the pressure. Tell us in the comments, was this just a communication breakdown or a symptom of something far bigger? Should Ferrari have backed Hamilton and let him race? Or was it a necessary call in the name of team strategy? Hit the like button if you believe this drama is only just beginning. Subscribe for more exclusive Formula One analysis, and stay with us, because in Maranello, the storm may only just be forming.